Are we good, Mr. Videographer, sir? Does that mean yes? Oh, sorry. Just figured that was some sign language.
Who knows where the kids are today, mate?
Yeah.
How's my hair? Is my hair okay?
As a matter of fact, it looks splendid. Stunning, as a matter of fact. All right. So we begin. Are we focused in again now? Have we got the fuzzy slippers in this shot? Beautiful.
Really?
Yes. What's the matter, Dave? Did you lose a fuzzy slipper?
No. See, that's the thing. You stuffed my joke up, so I'm not doing yours. All right?
Brian, he's a very naughty boy.
It's just not fair.
Guess what?
What?
How many months are there in a year?
12.
How many eggs in a dozen?
12.
How many anything in a dozen?
12.
How many episodes of BoozBrothers.tv are we up to?
We're up to episode 12. Ka-ching!
Well, I don't think there's been any ka-ching yet, but... But when you do what you love, they say some bullshit about never have to work a day in your life.
Well, reward does not necessarily mean anything financial.
No, it does not. Yes, ka-ching could mean, hey, we're racking in the happiness, the love points.
We are feeling the love. We are aglow with the warmth of whiskey.
You know what I'm excited about, though?
Many things, I'm sorry.
Oh, absolutely, because I'm an excitable guy. I'm excited about the number of entries coming in for our Maker's Mark competition.
It's looking very good so far.
It is. I think people are trying to make their mark on this competition, I would think. Indeed,
they might just be. In case you don't know what we're talking about, in episode 10...
10!
we came up with a concept
a decade of episodes,
giving something to you guys for your support for our wonderful little show here. So if you like our Facebook page, you go into the draw to win the Maker's Mark autobiography, which has been signed by myself and unfortunately him.
Yeah, and then dropped in value, but you know.
And if you subscribe to our YouTube channel,
yes,
then you shall go into the draw to win a bottle of Maker's Mark 46.
Yes.
And if you are within sufficient distance,
yes,
a differential difference.
We haven't even started drinking yet.
I know, right? It's terrible. We will deliver the bottle.
Yes.
And we will crack it, and we will film an episode and enjoy said bottle with you.
Now, funny you should say that, because the Maker's Mark 46, which I'd never tried,
yes,
I feel like I cheated a little. I went out to a bar in town the other night and ordered a rusty nail.
Right.
And so I had a selection of scotches or whiskies to choose from as I dram. And I looked, and there it was 46 just sitting there on the shelf. I'm saying, I'm having that one.
So you had that in a rusty nail?
Yes.
Well, that technically then it wouldn't be a rusty nail.
I know, because it's more...
Because a rusty nail is supposed to be a scotch, not a bourbon whiskey.
Not a bourbon whiskey. But needless to say, it was absolutely divine.
It is a lovely drop. I have actually tried it before at a trade show last year. I was fortunate enough to try that along with some rather exceptional Japanese whiskies.
Oh, and I'm sure we will do an episode coming up with some Japanese whiskies.
I await that with much anticipation.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Yes. Anyway, so episode 12, we best get into a beverage today.
Episode 12, we thought we'd stick with the numbers and we would do a 12-year-old single malt.
A 12-year-old single malt.
And we had a discussion yesterday briefly as to whether we should do something that's readily accessible or whether we should go for something that's perhaps a little curly.
Much like your hair.
My non-existent hair. Yes. The existent stuff, however, is a different story.
Yes.
Anyway, so we have the 12-year-old Glenlivet, or to be precise, the Glenlivet 12-year-old.
Life.
Indeed. So it's a Speyside single malt scotch.
And this one you had to break the seal there, actually.
I have to break the seal. It's a brand new one, and I do actually love the way these guys package their whiskies. Not only is it in the box,
paper bag,
but it's in its own glorious paper wrapping. So yes, it is absolutely stunning. I like it. It's a nice looking bottle. What are we looking at there? 40% volume. So there should be a
from
nice...
1824.
That was the establishment of the distillery, and of course we're discovering now that I have no fingernails.
Ugh, that's a...
But fortunately we have
Technology,
many things behind the bar that we can make use of.
much like yourself.
Ah, yes, there are many uses for me. Ooh, yummy. Sorry.
May I?
Of course, by all means.
Oh, yes. I'd like to be a cork sucker.
You lousy corksuckers. You have violated my fucking rights.
Cork. Sucker. Yes.
Yes.
Neat.
It is a single malt, correct?
It is a 12-year-old.
12-year-old. Let us do this as neat as possible. I'll have the 50-year-old glass thing.
Well, that is your glass.
I'm sensing spillage.
I dribbled a little there, but that's
A
okay.
little bit of excitement.
Oh, there is much excitement. It is
It's a very generous dram.
What can I say? I'm a generous guy.
Well, I think we should assess the bouquet.
And I don't want to wait any longer, so I will say cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
And cheers to you.
And cheers to you. Oh my gosh.
My golly gosh.
I sense a rattling of the leaderboard today.
It is an absolute perler, and as we said earlier, it's something that's becoming a little harder to find now because there is, over the last year or two, there's been a great increase in demand on aged whiskies. So the Glenlivet themselves have actually run out of 12-year-old stock. In my system, this is classed as a deleted item because I can't actually order the 12-year-old. There is now a non-age specified, so basically an 8-year single malt, which they have released in its place. And hopefully it may not be long before they bring back the 12. So, of course, those that have stock on it are hoarding it to a point. Unfortunately, because of the demand, some retailers are actually jacking their price up, which I think is quite sad. But this one slots in around the $60 mark.
Really?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That
It's
is,
an absolute cracker for the price.
Cheap as chips, mate.
For a 12-year-old whiskey, that is a fantastic little price. So, and this is one, was it George and J.G. Smith Limited Distillers, distributed internationally by Pernod Ricard.
Pernod Ricard.
Pernod.
Pernod.
Or Pernod.
Pernod Ricard.
Pernod Ricard.
We're fairly coof here. Once again, I love the way they describe their beverages and things like that. This is just very, very worthy to read out. George Smith's definitive legacy. The Glenlivet 12-year-old is perfectly balanced with a lively gold color and playful interlacing of floral and fruit aromas.
I just like listening to you read. I really do.
Interesting, because you probably know more about this. So 1824, George Smith established his distillery
Yep.
in the remote and wild location of Glenlivet. Remote and wild for such a fruity, floral, interlaced.
And
It's
of course,
quite a contrast of.
if you read a little further down, you will find that they actually, to distinguish the liquid itself from the Glenlivet River,
Yes.
tributary, whatever you will, they referred to this as the Glenlivet, not to be confused with the other one.
Yeah, so it says here, through this timeless primal valley run the icy waters of the river Livet.
And of course, in Scottish, river is Glen,
Glen, right.
not to be confused with George or Bruce.
No. So is that like River Campbell then? Like Glen Campbell would be?
Could be.
So it says here, its name, Smooth Flowing One, is in Gaelic, reflects the Glenlivet's beautiful, rich, and elegant flavours.
And it most certainly does. There is a complexity of flavour there. Of course, you've got that sweetness of caramel and oakiness that you would expect from a single malt. And a distinct lack of peatness.
Very, so much information on the box, mate. I mean, like, this has got the colour. It's a bright and lively gold. It's not just gold, it's a bright and lively gold. Catch the light through there.
Stunning.
The nose, vibrant aromas of summer meadows and tropical fruits, notably pineapple. This is good for men to drink then, because apparently,
Well,
Men should eat lots of pineapple.
Men should eat pineapple or lots of strawberries as well, apparently.
Oh, strawberries as well.
So I'm told.
The palate is floral notes, smooth and sweet fruit notes of fresh peaches, pears, and vanilla. Finished with marzipan and fresh hazelnuts. It is like a treasure trove
Of flavour.
of flavour and aromas.
It is. It's absolutely stunning.
Sorry? We got...
I'm going to try it.
well, we have a guest who could belly up to the bar at any time she likes.
Just a sip.
Just a sip.
Just a sip.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have the privilege of meeting the one and only Fairy Dead Reader.
Drinking whiskey.
Yes, nefarious Dead, as we would like to call her at the bar.
Nefarious Fairy Dead.
Just a little taste.
Just a little shot.
Just a little
wee dram.
shot, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Of course, a nice small glass for you to
Thank you.
fit your
Yes.
delicate nose in to enjoy those aromas.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And cheers to you.
Cheers.
And once again,
Oh, and double cheers,
Cheers to you,
sir.
my
Clink.
friend.
This may kill me.
let's hope not.
Warms the soul up on a chilly winter's afternoon.
It does. Yes. It does.
And
You're gonna
you're not
straight
one
from-
that's obviously not one that's used to neat spirits either.
No, definitely not.
Ah, well, you've lost your virginity with the 12-year-old Glenlivet. Hey?
Indeed, a grand way to do it.
Absolutely.
In
If you're going
style.
to do it with that's a great drop to do it with. Now, while you're there, Deb, you might as well reach to the end of the bar and talk to us a little bit about some whiskey art that you've done.
My recycled art. The collection that Hacienda actually gets, it needs to be recycled. This is the Elvis dimple.
This is the Elvis dimple.
I never even noticed that Elvis had a
Rest of
dimple.
my soul, what's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy tree. My friends say I'm mad, but I'm all just a bug. I'm in love. Whew. I'm all shook up. Mm-hmm.
How's that, eh?
Are you done?
No.
Oh, shit.
It's just the beginning. Yes. That is fantastic. What a great
done.
way to take,
Less in the landfill.
the bottle. These will either make wonderful decanters then, going forward, right?
Yes.
Elvis decantley. Or they could be bookends, like you put them together. They're beautiful. We can show them on the camera behind you there. We can just put them together.
Well, use this as an imaginary book.
Okay, see? Look. There you go.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that.
Presents ever so nicely on your bookshelf.
Absolutely.
And it's like the king of whiskies, It's like...
That went straight to the toes.
Did it? Oh, So,
So Deb's just going to remain seated for the rest of the episode, I think.
Yeah, over there.
like my dimples?
You like your dimples? Yes, very cool. Very cool. Yes, yes.
Yes, but anyway, so there you go.
I'll leave
Don't
the
throw
bar.
out... Oh, and there goes Fairy Deb for this episode. So, don't throw out your old bottles. Don't put them in the landfill.
Give them to Fairy Deb.
Give them to Fairy Deb and she'll put Elvis on there. Right?
Or the performer of your choice,
Oh, the
perhaps.
performer of your choice. Yes, yes. Perhaps we should start a collection of those who were with us but now have parted. Much like the whiskies.
That would be a good idea.
We could have a Prince, a David Bowie,
we
Lemmy.
could.
We could have a whole...
Well, see,
I don't
you
know
know,
if it's much of a
the
singer. The videographer wants to throw in a shot there.
the Lemmy one's quite easy. It'd be
Yeah.
a bottle of Jack.
Yes. But absolutely. What a great idea, Imagine a collection of those. Get onto it.
Get onto it, get into it, get amongst it.
Absolutely.
And
So we
all
have
those
that.
things. So there you go.
So this is difficult to come by now.
Basically, it's one of those ones, as we said with the Wild Turkey Forgiven. If you see a bottle, grab it. Because it is a fantastic drink, and as I said, increasingly hard to come across now. I know of several stores in Perth that are scrambling for it, like anywhere they are coming across it, whether it be through an independent supplier or whether, a collector that has a few bottles that they no longer require.
Yep.
These guys are snapping them up because there is a demand for aged whiskies, not just this one, but for an entire range of aged stuff. The other one off the top of my head, Talisker is another one. They have very limited supply on their aged whiskies, so they've released a unaged or unaged specified replacement product.
So is that because there's only so much in the age group per se that it's
Correct.
supply and demand, or did
Supply and demand, basically.
so for it to get to 12 years, we've got to wait a while for the next 12
Yeah,
year old?
I mean, another example, Hibiki, which is a fantastic Japanese whiskey brought into Australia through Suntory. Absolutely stunning stuff. The 12-year-old, really hard to get your hands on, so they've actually released, even though it's not labelled as such, it is actually a 10-year-old, and it's called the Hibiki Harmony, and it is an absolutely stunning whiskey in a glorious, glorious bottle. One of those bottles that you would, once again, keep and use as a decanter, perhaps.
Well, we'll perhaps have to do a sampling of some fine Asian whiskies
Very soon.
very soon.
Very soon, I feel, yes.
Okay, so but they're still going to be producing the 12-year-old.
Oh, look, yeah, so obviously it's a matter of time before they can re-release it because
Right.
it has to spend a minimum of 12 years in the barrel.
In the barrel. Age is in the barrel, not the bottle.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So that's it. So it's coincidence then, ever since Booze Brothers TV has come on the light and we've started looking at much aged
Just taking
beverages.
care of that spill.
Okay, yeah, don't waste none. Ever since we've been promoting this, all of a sudden there's been obviously a high demand on aged beverages.
Look, what can I say? You know, things
So-
get better with age.
Absolutely do. Since I'm much older than you,
Doesn't make you any better than me.
it hurts my feelings.
In some ways you
My
are,
one
though,
single
my
feeling
friend.
you
In
just
some
heard.
ways you are.
All right, is there anything else the viewers need to know about the Glenlivet?
Just drink it.
Yeah, just life be Glenlivet. Get into it. If you can find it, grab a bottle. Grab every bottle you can and then send it to boozebrothers.tv because we'll have it. Thank you.
We will store it very, very carefully.
Yes,
for
in
you.
the charred barrel.
And we'll even convert it. We'll do a reverse Jesus. We'll convert it back to water.
Yes. Right. So, get in there. The distillery, once again, is the...
It is the Glenlivet from George and J.G. Smith Limited.
George and J.G. Smith Limited, the Glenlivet. We'll just bring it up here.
He's being difficult now, just because he can.
Yes. Get into it.
All right.
All right.
Shall we rate?
We shall rate.
After you.
Oh, maybe we should get Fairy Deb to throw in a bonus rating. Let's see what she would rate. On a scale of 1 to 11, Fairy Deb. You can just throw your voice into this, or you don't have to. If you're more welcome to come to the bar again if you wish. We rate all our beverages on a scale of 1 to 11.
Because that just, gives it one more than everyone else.
That's right. Because we're just that one bit better.
Well, considering I've never actually had a Scotch whisky before like that,
Mm-hmm.
the way you described it, the flavours and the enhancements, it's just like, just had to try it.
Do you need another sample just to...
No. I'm having the aftertaste
Okay.
now.
It does linger very nicely.
It does
on the palate.
linger. It does linger.
Kinda lingers.
It's I would give that a probably an 8.
An 8. Okay.
Solid 8.
Now, what, with your...
Solid
Just
8.
just to put it into perspective, your drinks of choice would be more...
Wine,
Wine.
yeah, wine, vodka, yes.
Now, vodka we can handle, but we don't talk about on this show.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, but that's quite
Well,
right.
yes, well, and yes, I don't usually do brown liquor either. So, yeah.
Solid 8.
I'll give
A
that
solid
an 8.
8 from Deb.
Yes,
That's
I'll give
good.
that an 8.
We'll accept
Yes,
that.
Yep, okay.
You've been prone to the odd Malibu in your time too, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, coconut
The
rum,
white-
yes.
the white
yes,
rum?
the
So
white
you
rum,
now have a
yes.
benchmark.
As the light fairy,
Definitely.
sometimes you might encounter dark spirits.
Absolutely, yes.
So-
Oh, dear.
Oh, my goodness.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Okay.
No need to add sound effects. We're doing our own on this episode.
Yes. Your rating, good sir?
My rating, this out of 11, this is going to be... I'm like, hang on. This is a beverage I could drink responsibly throughout the evening quite substantially. So I'm going to give it a 10.4. It is right up there for me. That's when I think of value for money too. Like, comparing it to like $100-something whiskey for the 60 odd bucks, like holy crap.
We keep saying that, you really shouldn't go off price versus
No.
quality. but you really do have to take it into account because, I mean...
I can get 2 bottles of that from one that's 120, which would be very close. And that's twice the pleasure.
Look, for you, mate, I'd do you 2 for 110.
Do you?
Just for you, mate. As the profit discount.
Yes, for a profit. Profit for a profit.
Absolutely.
Yes, I appreciate that, Sir Qball. So yeah, 10.4. What do you got? 10.4, good buddy.
10.4, good buddy. Look, we all know I've been very, very generous with my scores.
Yes.
And I do actually quite like this one. But, you know, even around the same price point and many other 12s that I have sampled, just deliver a little more. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is superbly pleasant. It's got a lovely nose on it. And it's very, very easily drinkable. But I'm going to go for a 9.65.
9.65.
It's still up there, but
20.05.
It's still a sub 10 for me.
Which is a 10.025 average.
10.025. It's still a very, very credible score on on the Travis Girola Booze Brothers leaderboard.
It is indeed, which will be displayed shortly, I'm sure, at the end of this video.
Yes.
So, outside of that, then, I think it's only appropriate to end it right there. Now, we might have to pour Deb one more because we can't close the show without her. Now she's at the bar.
Well, we shouldn't. Where did you...
Right
no,
there.
is that one there?
That
one there.
there.
Let's
Yes.
not confuse... Just a very small... Just a wee drum.
Yeah, you can't.
Did you mention it was from New Zealand?
What's that?
It's not from New Zealand.
It's not from New Zealand. It's a Scotch, darling.
But what's the...
On the back, oh no, it says imported into Australia by Pernod Ricard and then imported into New Zealand by Pernod Ricard New Zealand.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Otherwise, we would have given it a solid 10.
Okay.
10.4. Anyway, so, as we like to end,
Give a damn.
pour me a drink!
Son of a bitch! Thanks, Deb.
Thanks, Deb. And thank you for the fine art. We'll put where you can contact Mary Deb for all your fair requirements at the end of the video.
I don't drink while I'm working.
No, prior to or post, normally. See ya! Very, very nice.
Oh, yeah.